Bishop Arts didn't happen overnight. It's my dad's vision, and he came up with the name Bishop Arts District back in 1985, and it took us quite some time. I remember that we used to have to beg people to come across the river to come look at space.
I can remember when my dad said, gosh, you'd think you'd be asking him to cross the Rio Grande just to come over to Oak Cliff. I can honestly tell you that none of the business owners on 7th Street are afraid of progress or development. Our main deal is that we want to stay local and have the local businesses not be run out of town. And not only that, we want it to stay in the human scale and geographically distinct like Oak Cliff has become.
To be honest with you, and everyone, I've had people say, well, if you really cared about your business, you'd either deal with Alamo Manhattan and go into their development, or you'd find another spot around here. That's not an option for us. We can't afford to go in that, first of all, and I don't want to, frankly. I could have gone to Uptown if I wanted that kind of thing. They came in posing like, well, we're going to be your landlord, deal with it. We're going to take your business, wait a couple years to build it, and then you can come back in and we're going to raise your rent. And I told Matt Seagrass to his face, if you think that's going to happen, you're going to have a fight on your hands. And he said, we'll see. Yeah, make no mistake, Alamo Manhattan is either going to do this project or not. I find it kind of frustrating because people think that they're going to be willing to compromise and do it, and they're not. It's not economically viable for them to make any kind of changes to this plan. They're going to do it.
I wish our developers, were slightly less rapacious. There are so many great architecture firms in Dallas, and instead of going, every time to the GFFs, to the HKSs, to these corporate firms, why aren't we seeking out the Dan Shipleys and the Corky Cunninghams and the Russ Buchanans, the Max Levys? They can do this kind of building at scale and do it so beautifully. They know this area. I just think if we got the right people, we'd be getting better work.
What about the cultural aspect to our community? That this is a predominantly Hispanic community, and that we're having this conversation and no one's even speaking in Spanish. Like, most of the people that live here, conglomerate is going to come in and just homogenize this neighborhood, because the reason that Oak Cliff is charming and why people want to come here is because everyone that lives here created this culture that is beautiful, and we all love living here, and it's just going to annihilate all of it.
So that's the big dilemma we have right now, is there's zoning in place that actually allows this entire place to be raised and to come back at 5-story multifamily apartments, which I can tell you I don't want to see. It doesn't support the character of the neighborhood and the character and what we built in. It feels like some of them have just crossed the Trinity, others have crossed the Mississippi. They're coming over here just to cash in, build the development, stabilize it after 5 years, sell it, and move on to the next hot spot, wherever they read about in the New York Times on Sunday. They'll move there and keep things going. But what they did isn't acceptable because it just ruins the character of this area. This is just one more stage of Oak Cliff, and it's going to be up to all of us that live here to see how we get through this to the other side and hand off this great place to the next group of people that want to move in, and to everyone else and to us as we get older. The bigger conversation to have about Bishop Arts is, what does everyone want?
I don't know, I'm real emotional about Oak Cliff. I've lived here my whole life. So, I was born at Methodist Hospital. I didn't get far. I live a mile from the restaurant. My life circle is about 6 miles, maybe. I don't get out of 6 miles. We all like over here our homegrown businesses and people from the neighborhood with businesses. I think that it works. And that's what makes everybody have fun over here. Just don't do it. Don't make it look like y'all know where. Starts with a U. Please don't make it look like that.
This is my adoptive Oak Cliff mother. I want to be Oh, sister, sorry.
My shop is at 317 North End. I have been here for almost 24 years. And I tell you one thing, if it wasn't for my Latin folks that live around this area, my business would not have survived. And I'm so glad to see all of you white folks being here tonight. I'm glad you guys are here. Okay? But at the same time, we need to remember the people that made this community, that what's happening to a lot of these folks that have supported my business for so many years are now being run over by a lot of these people that are trying to buy the little houses for nothing to get them out of here so they can have a huge piece of land and resell it for more. I don't think that's just. Let's not forget, no se olviden de los mexicanos, los latinos que han vivido aquí por muchos años. Muchos años.